Hey, what's happening? Disc Reviews, me, the Guy01, and welcome to this week's versus episode on the Walkthrough channel. This week, it's CM Punk against Randy Orton. And if you've been really just been looking at the news recently, you'll know why. But this is our the episode after Survivor Series, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about. So this is probably gonna be a long episode. Extra long because it's probably gonna take me longer than normal to get through all of it. Because not gonna lie, I am currently on like 4 hours of sleep, and I've been on 4 hours of sleep for the past few days now. I have not been sleeping well, mainly because I've been staying up late, not because of, it's not like I'm on my phone or anything. It's like I'm working till like 9, 10 o'clock every night this past week on school stuff. So, if I sound like a little groggy or not, I mean, I never sound that high energy anyway. I kind of always sound tired. But if I sound extra tired, that's why. So, enough talk, let's jump right in. First of all, we got several birthdays to address. It was Dana Brooks' birthday on the 29th of November. She turned 35. Jerry Lawler's birthday. Same day, November 29th, he turned 74. November 30th, Trinity, formerly known as Naomi in WWE, she turned 36. And Christian Cage had his birthday same day, November 30th, he turned 50, the big 5-0. Alright, let's jump into Survivor Series. First thing we gotta talk about Survivor Series is the fact that it broke basically every Survivor Series record. The most bought Survivor Series, like the most viewed Survivor Series. I think it broke the attendance records for Survivor Series. The most like retweeted moments of Survivor Series, like on social media. It was the most successful Survivor Series. And that all comes down to these two guys, which we'll get to later. First off, Santos Escobar beat Dragon Lee. Gunther beat The Miz to retain the Intercontinental Championship in what was a pretty good match. I like that they allowed Miz to have like a competitive match, and actually there was a moment there where it looked like he might actually beat Gunther, which I think no one went into this match expecting he was even going to be given a chance. But he almost did it. Rhea Ripley beat Zoe Stark to retain the Women's World Title. Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and Shotzi beat Damage Control in the Women's War Games match, which was a car wreck in the best way. I mean, it was insane. That whole match was just insane. Both of the War Games matches were insane. And they were both a lot of fun. And in the main event, not looking. That was quick. Get off me. And in the main event, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Sami Zayn, and Jey Uso beat the Judgment Day in Drew McIntyre and the men's War Games match. Orton came out looking in incredible shape. Honestly, he kind of basically looked like this, like how he looks in the game. Like, great shape. Hit a great RKO off the top of the cell. Well, not cell, but you know what I mean. They picked up the win. And just when it looked like the show was about to close, with the babyfaces standing tall, the return of Orton, getting everyone on their feet, Cult of Personality starts playing, the Titantron lights up, and out walks CM Punk. After almost 10 years away from WWE, CM Punk returns at Survivor Series in Chicago. And the reaction was nuts. I mean, the reaction when Orton came out was nuts, and we knew he was gonna be there. And we've known that for, I'd say, a few months now. Because that's the thing with pro wrestling now. Not just WWE, but pro wrestling in general. there are no surprises in pro wrestling anymore, because everyone kind of knows what's happening weeks in advance. I mean, Orton's return at Survivor Series was speculated, I'd say, back around SummerSlam time. Like, after SummerSlam happened and he didn't return, it's like, okay, it's happening at Survivor Series, and this is how they're going to do it. And then, you know, it actually happened on TV, and it's like, oh yeah, we saw this coming. CM Punk's return, nobody saw coming. And a lot of that's due to Triple H making sure as few people knew about it as possible. I mean, there were rumors of CM Punk coming back to WWE ever since he left. For the past 9 years, there's been rumors. After, you know, his UFC career failed, there were rumors of him coming back. With AEW, you know, there were rumors of him jumping back. And then, of course, once he left AEW, it was like, okay, now this is the time. But there was still, like, no confirmation for it. And literally, I think it was like the day before Survivor Series or the week of, a report actually went out, basically saying that Triple H or some higher up executive in WWE basically went to all like the main executives and basically said, hey, CM Punk is not coming back at Survivor Series. Like that, it was actually like in the internal workings of WWE. So they made sure to keep this locked down tight. And I think it worked, because when he came out, I mean, we all thought like Randy Orton, that was like the return of Randy Orton, that's all you needed. That's all you needed to sell the event. That and the War Games matches. That was all you needed. And then with CM Punk, when CM Punk returned to close the show, I mean, it might be one of the biggest, that might break the record for the best surprise return in pro wrestling history. I mean, that might surpass Edge returning at the Royal Rumble, just for the surprise factor. Because, again, like I said, even with like stuff like Edge, there were rumors of him coming back. Like I said, there's no secrets in pro wrestling anymore. There are no surprises. Everyone knows what's going to happen weeks in advance now. Because due to insiders, scripts getting out, you know, the fact that everything has to be discussed publicly now, it's hard to keep things secret anymore. So the fact that they were actually able to pull this off and have CM Punk return at Survivor Series without getting out ahead of time is amazing. And it's funny, there was actually, I remember I was seeing like a bunch of polls before Survivor Series basically saying, will CM Punk return? And most people answered no on those. It's like, no, he's not returning at Survivor Series. And like, half the comments are from people are being like, it's like, you know, WWE can hold an event in Chicago without CM Punk being there. And basically a lot of the comments were basically, you know, people saying CM Punk's not returning and grow up. He's never going to come back. Basically insulting and mocking people who thought he was going to come back. And basically like, you know, telling them to grow up, and it's like, it's not happening. You're stupid for thinking that. Then he actually returns. And if you go back to those polls, a lot of those comments have since been deleted. So it's funny to see that, you know, people are so sure of themselves, and then when they're proven wrong, they act like they never made those claims in the first place. You gotta love it. And so yeah, you got the return of Randy Orton, and then the return of CM Punk. And I said this before, I said this last week. You know, I think even last week there were still rumors of CM Punk returning. I mean, like I said, there's been rumors of him returning ever since he left WWE in 2014. But I think I kind of shot down the idea, because I said, I think if CM Punk were to return at Survivor Series, it would undermine the return of Randy Orton. Which, now that it's happened, I think I was right. I mean, Orton's return was great. It got a huge reaction, but now CM Punk's return is all anyone's talking about. Even WWE, that's all they're pushing. Every like Survivor Series recap or highlight video, CM Punk's in the thumbnail. and they've actually started doing the thing where now they're uploading a bunch of his matches onto YouTube, like his Money in the Bank match against John Cena, his match against Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. So they're really pushing CM Punk now, and Randy Orton's return has kind of gotten overshadowed by that, which is something I said would happen if Punk were to return at Survivor Series. It would kind of take the thunder away from Orton's return. I still think it would have been better storyline-wise to have Punk return at the Rumble. I mean, like I said this before, but, you know, CM Punk walked out of the company the day after the 2014 Royal Rumble. He returns at the 2024 Royal Rumble. Exactly 10 years later, he comes back at the event that caused him to walk out. I mean, I feel like that would have been a much better story time, but it's a Big Four pay-per-view in Chicago. And based on the reaction, I think he probably could have returned anywhere and gotten a big reaction, but the fact that he returned in Chicago, you know, that's a reaction you can't beat. But anyway, like I said, this is going to be a long episode. 10 minutes in and we haven't even gone to Raw yet. Thankfully, not really a lot happened on Raw or SmackDown, at least compared to Survivor Series. On Raw, most of the show was built around a tag team gauntlet match to determine the next #1 contenders for the undisputed tag titles. DIY beat Akira Tozawa and Otis, who are representing Alpha Academy. DIY then beat Inda Sheer. The Creed brothers then beat DIY. They then went on to beat... Uh-oh, hold on. No! Oh no. The Creed brothers then beat the New Day, and then they beat Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci of Imperium in order to get the title shots at Damian Priest and Finn Balor. So WWE is really pushing the Creed brothers. I mean, they beat DIY, New Day, and Imperium. That's a lineup. So that match, I believe, happens next week on Raw, if I'm not mistaken. Uh-oh. Yeah, how do you like it? You're always Spike DDTing everyone. It's your turn. Oh no. Ow. Ooh. Yeah. Ivar faced Bronson Reed. The match ended in a double countout after the two of them continued fighting at the ringside area. Even after the bell rang, the two of them kept fighting. It was a good match. It was a very hard-hitting match. The ending is a little, you know, you would like to see someone win, but it's clear that they want to keep both of them looking strong. They don't want one of them to lose, and again, it's obvious they're building up to a match down the line as well. So I'm okay with the double count out because it was fun. It was because of a brawl. Brawls are always fun. Nia Jax beat Zoe Stark, which, not sure what that says, that you have Nia Jax beating the person who just wrestled for the world title. Feels kind of weird that Zoe Stark, you know, in a title match against Rhea Ripley and is now losing to Nia Jax. But, I don't know. That's WWE's playing with her, I guess. Ow. Oh no. Not even a one count. Oh no, no. Drew McIntyre confronted Seth Rollins and challenged him for a world title match before Seth Rollins announced that he has already basically given Jey Uso a shot at the title next Raw. This then led to Drew McIntyre attacking Seth Rollins, with Jey Uso coming out to make the save. Again, kind of weird that, oh crap, that Jey's saving Seth, even though they're facing each other for the world title. Aha! Tricked him. No, I'm not going to beat him that way. Come on. You got to hit one finisher. My turn. Oh, come on. Dang it. Piper Niven and Chelsea Green beat Natalya and Tegan Knox to retain the women's tag team titles. And in the main event, Randy Orton beat Dominic Mysterio after getting his hands on JD McDonough again, which was fun to see. Moving on to SmackDown, Bobby Lashley beat Butch. Santos Escobar beat Joaquin Wilde, and then continued to beat him up after the match, which led to Dragon Lee coming down to make the save. So it looks like they're going to continue the feud between Dragon Lee, Al, and Santos Escobar. Oh, no, you don't. Kevin Owens beat Grayson Waller. Bianca Belair beat Kairi Sane after a botched interference by Bayley. Once again, continuing the story of her unintentionally, question mark, parenthesis, costing Kairi Sane and members of the not Judgment Day, of Damage Control matches. We assume that they're accidental, but who knows? Nope, come here. There we go. Ow. Oh no. Oh no. Help. Alright, my turn. Oh. I just Hulk Hogan through that one. No sell and then hit the finisher. Got him. The final segment of the night was Orton's contract signing, as he is technically a free agent, or was. He was approached by Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis with offers to join either Raw or SmackDown. Before he could sign the contract, he was confronted by the Bloodline, Paul Heyman, Solo Sikoa, and Jimmy Uso. Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso attacked Randy Orton before LA Knight ran down to make the save. After LA Knight and Orton took out the Bloodline, Orton then signed with SmackDown, hoping to get his hands on the Bloodline again, before dropping Nick Aldis with an RKO to close the show. Classic Orton. So yeah, I told you guys this was going to be a long one, but there was a lot of stuff that happened and a lot of stuff worth talking about, especially with Survivor Series. So the way things are looking, it looks like Raw is going to get CM Punk and SmackDown is going to get Randy Orton. CM Punk appeared on Raw to deliver a promo, which was a good promo and had some fun moments in it, but you know, you almost expected something more, especially with his return being so big. I mean, he basically just came out, talked for a promo, and then that was it. He wasn't confronted by anyone. There was no brawl, no setup for a future match. You kind of expected something, so we'll see how WWE handles this huge surge of like momentum and attention from CM Punk's return, and the return of Randy Orton. But you know what? Things are looking real interesting right now. I mean, you got Orton and CM Punk back, you got Cody Rhodes, LA Knight, got the Royal Rumble next month. Who is your guys' pick? I don't know. But with that said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of Survivor Series, Raw and SmackDown. Did you guys see CM Punk's return coming? If you say yes, you're lying. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we can make new videos all the time. Stay tuned for next week's Versus episode, and next week where we continue our Batman Arkham Asylum walkthrough. Hope you guys enjoyed. Guy01, CM Punk, signing out. Bye guys.